Man March. Stay strong. Ain't that what they say? Strong African American men get together. Well, I'm not. It's so ironic that we're talking about this and I'm bringing this subject to you. No, it's not because of Black history. We ain't going to talk about Black history today. We're talking about the Million Nurse March. Stay tuned. A crazy day. I wanted to come out here and talk about the Million Nurse March that's going to be happening. Million Nurse March. Here's their mission statement. Our goal and focus is the unification of every nurse across every healthcare setting to produce significant reform to our healthcare system. Our main focus, safe staffing ratio, sounds like California, but we all need it. I'll work in Georgia for that. Real protection, follow through on federal, state level for violence against healthcare workers. Fear and unrealistic wages, including standing against any proposed cap to nursing pay. Also, if you want to donate, if you don't want to go to the march, you can donate. The gathering will be Washington, D.C. Before I begin, give me a like, subscribe. And also, I started a new channel, Soothing Vibes Music. It relaxes you, calm you down. You know, nurses, when you're in stress, music will calm you down. It's been a crazy day. Crazy week. I mean, I went out and got me a puppy, a male puppy, because my daughter wanted it. And, you know, when you buy things for kids, it end up to be your toy. I did not expect that. Maybe because I'm home, I'm like the babysitter to the dog, trying to train it. And it's been difficult. I think I like the ones that come already trained. But every experience, you learn from it. I got so frustrated because the dog was hyper and I couldn't, just getting on my nerves. Maybe, you know, not in a bad way. In other words, every time I tried to do something, it was like needy. And that's what babies are, right? So I read something on Google that they will calm down because he starts spraying all over the place. And I went and I said to the vet, take his peanuts out. Because it's going to be calming him, right? Did it calm him? No, he's still the same. Hyper. So I got to keep on at it. And long story. Anyway, so that didn't work. So it's just a matter of him growing. I guess he'll be calmer as he grows older. Isn't that how it is? Anyway, back to the topic. I didn't mean to get off like that. So the Million Nurse March. Someone on Facebook hit me up and said, join the Million Nurse March. And I could swear that it started this year. But then I started to do a little bit of research. I'm not complete yet about the Million Nurse March. And it started in 2000. And what it is, I didn't even know you had that kind of support. And I think it was mostly Caucasian was doing the march. I don't know. I'm just assuming based on the little review I did. And it was more about nurse shortage, how policies and stuff like that, bringing the information together, support, united, something that I've been talking about. So it interested interesting that we are at this same spot talking about marching as a nurse in Washington, D.C. And the reason, I'll tell you what, it's so important that I had to come here to tell you, if you're not into being around a crowd like me, that's probably not going to be the thing for you. But there's other way you can support. And then it began to dawn on me, if this started in 2000 and I've been preaching about Support United, how many people are going to support this? But this is a topic for another day. So anyway, the reason that they started this, trying to reach out to everyone, because Pennsylvania started it. Pennsylvania started this to say that travel nurse coming into their state, they're going to cap your salary. And cap your salary means you're not going to get the pay you deserve. You're going to get lower pay. They don't want you to make more money. They feel, the state, that their nurses should make the money, but they're not paying their nurses the money. And also, from my point of view, the nurses on staff, just like the nurses in California, they all think that the travel nurse make a lot of money. But when you break it down, they make more than us going in, because the person who's making the money is the administration for the agency, because they cut us real low. They figure out ways to cut our salary, and we don't get what we deserve as a travel nurse. So now they're saying they're going to cut it. They need to cut the administration for the agency and leave our salary alone. So a group of nurses decided to get in touch with the Million Nurse March, and they're going to march in support of that. So also, I want to let you know, if you live in Pennsylvania, it started January 1st. If you have student loan, fill out that application. They have something going on there. They'll pay some of your student loan. That's their way of getting their nurses on the floor. So the friend of mine called me and tell me about the situation in the hospital in Pennsylvania. And she was saying that, she's also a nurse, they were already short, and they already, half her hospital is supported by 75% of travel nurse is in her hospital. It's a major, big, huge hospital. And I never want to call out names, because you never know, I might end up there, or, logistic. Anyway, 75% of the people that she's working with are travel nurse. Now, if they take that away, because I know I'm not going for $20. I'm not going for $40 an hour. You set the bar high, and now you want me to come down. No. I deserve better based on my experience. Now, new nurses, I'm sorry to say, you have to start and grow up. After 5 years, you start seeing decent. But I have nothing against if they start y'all off on a level, but there are going to be some nurses that's going to say they have experience. Why should new nurses get the same pay as them? Similar thing to this, the hospital do have a program based on your experience. And I'm only talking about the North and California, because they are progressive. I don't know anything about Georgia. And I need to talk about this too. I don't mean to stray off. A lot of people ask me during the pandemic, why didn't I stay in my state, which is Atlanta and Georgia, and work? Why did I have to travel to New York? Why did I have to go to Texas? I think you should ask, and you should look at it. Most nurses that live in the state, especially in the South, we don't work in the South. We work out of the state. Georgia, at the time, didn't seem like there was an urgency for nurses. And the salary is still not up to crisis rate, so we go way out. We travel out, we put up with a lot, disrespect, hardship, everything that you can imagine being on a travel nurse. So we don't get any benefit. No, if you're sick, I carry my own health insurance, not no Obamacare. And I carry my own dental, vision. We do that. We're covered that way. But because the agency, no, they don't want to give you nothing. They don't want to treat you with respect. And with respect, you give me the pay that I deserve based on my experience. So now you're saying you're going to cap it. Now you're saying you're going to decrease it because you feel like I'm getting everything. Are they going to give me benefit? And then I was wondering, okay, you're going to cap my salary, right? Are you going to cap when you make that contract with the agency? Because, there's time like I work many a holiday. You know what the agency say? We don't pay you for the holiday, but I had to work. Because, when you a travel nurse, what do they give you when you come in? All the holidays that their staff nurse don't want to work. And holiday, the staff nurse that working with you, she's getting, in California, she's getting double time. In other states, they're getting time and a half. On your money, you get nothing but straight time, travel nurse. And they tell you that when you sign the contract, you see that. Over 40 hours is what you get, time and a half. So I read something. It's a major agency, and I work for that agency sometime. Major, huge one. And this crisis that's going on, the agency was getting $300, $400 an hour off of my head. And what do they pay me? Nothing that I want to talk about. Now, there are going to be some nurses that never make anything beyond when they see $40 or they see $50, they going crazy. They jumping. And they don't support when you say, stay home. And I kind of understand the reason why. Because being a single mother and you're a nurse, you feel like you have to do what you have to do. And I get it. So I wanted to come out here and I want to see how many nurses are going to support this Million Nurse March. United. Support. How many nurses do you think support my channel? Laugh. Yeah, laugh. They all know. Because there's some of them who come in, they'll see me on the assignment. Oh, you still have your YouTube channel? Are you still writing books? And it's like they giggling in the back. You know how people that, I don't want to say they don't like you. How should I say? Your enemy is always watching. The Million Nurse March is for all nurses in every state in the United States or globally if you would like to join. Step out your hospital for a day. March in your area if you can't get to Washington, D.C. And I think it's going to be in March, if I'm not mistaken. So it's the march it's going to be a peaceful rally to bring awareness, unity, and support to nurses. We don't need whatever happens to, and the reason why a lot of travel nurses get involved, because it's going to affect you too as staff nurse. So if you're a staff nurse, you should also come out and support it. Step out of your hospital for one day. Step away. Think about it, how if you cannot step out, how you can support this march. Beneficial for you because you're going to be short. I'm guaranteeing you. You're going to be overworked on the pay, and you won't be able to get any travel nurse to come in. So the thing is, I want them to take a look at the contract that the other agency, how they pay them a lot of money, but in fact, it doesn't trickle down to us as a travel nurse. I read something, a huge agency, I work for them. They're also merged with somebody in another agency in another country. And the reason for that, I'll let you know. If I have my brother actually sent that to me, so I'll check and I'll put the link down. What a lot of these agencies, I'm sorry, my phone. What a lot of these agencies are now doing to stop the travel nurse from making money. They're going to, the article, I think it was the New York Times, that they are going to Zimbabwe and Africa, Philippines, and getting the nurses and bring them here for the COVID crisis. Now you may say, here it is that we have nurse in the United States, and United States are going to go to the other country and short staff them because the African or the Philippine nurses, they want to come to America. So they'll leave their country to come here. And it's not like we don't want to work, because that's what they'll think in their mind, that we don't want to work. They'll take the salary that they give them, which is going to be way less than what they're going to pay us. It was in the news. They're going over there and bringing them here to help with the crisis that's going on in the United States. So when this huge company that I work for merged with another company in another country to bring them in, we started getting less and less work. And in the paper, it says that, this is another news I was reading about this company, they made $300, $300 to $400 an hour off of my head. That's a fact. But they didn't pay me that much. So when people read that, even when nurses in the staff read those things, they think I'm getting $300 an hour. Hey, if that was the case, I will be home forever. No, we don't get that. We don't get that. They figure out a way. One of the disappointment, I think the biggest cost for them was when they saved money when they put us in the same room. It was cheaper for them. Now, because of the crisis, we have to have our own room. Thank God for that, because I didn't like some of those roommates, and I'm being honest. So these are the things that I'm pretty sure the agency is going to figure out a way to scheme it and make money for themselves. Not going to pass it down to us. They'll do something like bonus, and by the time you get the bonus, it's not even bonus anymore. So make sure, put it in your calendar. As a matter of fact, keep it update if you're on Facebook. I'm not there a lot because I have other things I'm trying to get started. But you'll see about it. Somebody might reach out to you, and figure out a way how you're going to support it. I'm not going to the march. I'm going to be honest with you. Crowd energy is not for me. I'll figure out a way, and hopefully they'll reach out and ask me, is there anything else to support it? And I'll do my best. Also, for those of you who, we've been saying support, but we never really stand ground nurses. And I'm talking to you. I remember when I went on this assignment and I got a schedule that was way off. The scheduling lady asked me what kind of schedule, just write down my schedule. And I wanted certain days off because I know, only because I was going to the dentist. And I didn't get it. And one nurse, the only nurse, had every weekend off. And I thought that wasn't fair. And so I went to this other nurse. And yes, she was from Africa. And I said, maybe we need to go and talk about our schedule. And she wouldn't come and support me. And till when her schedule got messed up, then she was looking for support. So I'm only saying that not to say that I'm in agreement or disagreement with her decision not to support me, go and help me talk. Because I can do it good for myself. It worked out okay in the end. I learned the schedule and I do what I had to do and come home. But what I learned from that experience is a lot of people say they'll support you. They'll rally around you. But when it's time for them to prove themselves that they're really supportive, they walk away until it affects them. So I wanted to come out here and I want you to know it's an emergency that you go out or you figure out a way to support the Million Nurse March. You might be like me, not into crowd, but there might come a day, there might be something that we can do. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a way for us to support it. I'm supporting it right now by passing the word out to you, other nurses. We have to do something. We have to learn to respect each other. We have to support each other because together we stand as one. And it doesn't matter about race. We are nurses. I know there's some, we've been through trying time in Texas. I could tell you about a story that's long. I could write a book about Texas. But at the end of the day, it's all about the patient, right? So when you see your fellow nurses just want to give up, hang in there and support them. Even nurses that I think that I would never work with them again. When they call me to help them with a patient, I put on that mask and I go, and not real mask, the mask just to help the patient. I don't have to deal with them. I don't have to take them home. They're not my friends. And it was a hard lesson to learn that when you walk in that hospital, when you walk in there, you leave those behind. All your negative, all your issues, you leave it behind. All your home issue, leave it behind and go in there and focus. Your goal is to help the patient, not to start with argument with other nurses. You can't work with this one and this one. We got to support. We got to show them that we are supportive of each other. Because if we don't show them, administration knows the weak links are the nurses. And we are weak. Yes, I said it. You hear it from me. We are weak. We spend more time battling with each other than to show them that, yes, these are my friends. These are my coworkers. Anything they need, I'm going to help them. because it makes me look good. It makes them look good. It makes administration say, oh, they get along. They don't know how to deal with you when you get like that. But they know they divided you. We are divided. And because of that, they know how to deal with you, manipulate your mind, and get you to fight against each other. That usually work. How many people, and I'm scratching my head because how many people like to work in a hostile environment? How many people can work there for so long? That money, that bigger money that you get, you can't stay there forever because of that negative attitude. So here I am telling you, nurses, 2022, that we need to support each other. It's very important that we reach out and we stand strong. Let them know that we are in control. And whatever, sometimes I'm going to be honest, I don't hold it together pretty good. I don't. I have pressure points and I have to learn to control it. And that's why I don't jump at everything that comes my way. I don't let money cloud me and say, oh, they're paying this, I gotta go. I turned down an assignment, major money, because I didn't feel safe and I knew I wasn't gonna have any support. So don't jump at the first thing. But I want you, the main reason why I came out here to talk to you is get on the bandwagon. If an assignment comes and it's paying top dollars and you feel you're ready, you take that. Because after that, they're going to cap it. But if you're in that contract, they won't mess with it. So that's why I came with you. And it so happened that I got an assignment. So I'm going to hold that on and see how it goes. Because after that, after March, I think they're going to start capping it. For real. And I'm curious to see how is the agency going to make money now? Because maybe they'll still pay the agency to get us there, but they'll tell us that, oh, it's a blend rate. You know, you have one agency told me, it's a travel assignment. You have to pay for your housing and you have to rent a car. Okay. How am I going to look for an apartment? You want me there in 2 days and you want me to look for a hotel and book the hotel and the plane ticket, because they're not paying for your plane ticket either, and get a car and everything all in 2 days. I don't take those contract nurses. I don't. If they don't give me at least one, give me the hotel. That's the main one. A permanent place to rest my head. If they look for it for me, but I'm not paying for it. I did that trying to save money and it was a total disaster. I wasted money because I wanted to stay at the Marriott. And they want me at Best Western and Motel 6. So it ended up that I was comfortable, but I didn't make as much as my savings was depleted because I wanted to stay fancy pantsy. You have to be comfortable. You have to sleep good at night. You have to feel safe and you need peace. And so I'm going to end this by saying thank you for your support. Those who've been rocking with me for day one, I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day or night in your state or your country.